Rocco, our favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that was funny. But so for people, so one of the people that was giving me shit about Sofi, Andrew found his channel and he created an Anthony Noto AI of that stupid thing. So it's mine now. You can't claim it. It's AI. You don't own shit. Nobody owns it. So unbelievable. I've enjoyed the hate, I will say. Apparently, so my Sofi video like had 200 views, and then like sometime this morning it just went like crazy ballistic. I got a ton of negative comments like immediately, like a bomb. And then I think 1,000 views within a few hours. So I wonder if the Sofi community hates my guts now. But,
Can't imagine you're beloved around those parts.
I love it. I love it. Because like they just all want to hear that everything's fine, and they all just want to live in their silo. So they get so hurt when someone challenges their sacred stock. Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can revisit those. We can look at some of those comments later if people want. So noisy, my wife yelled.
Apologies.
You want me to do it to her? I can play it again for your wife. Yeah, it was funny. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dan fell asleep on the. No, I was putting my kids to bed really quick. I let them stay up a bit.
Hey.
Like some parents are like, you go to bed at 8 o'clock. It's like if they get up at like 7, 8 hours of sleep is 11 o'clock. Like you got time.
Yeah.
They don't need to sleep 15 hours a night. It's okay.
Yeah.
So.
Not every kid falls asleep right away anyways. So like
I mean, the key is you do sports, right? So then they'll pass out or they'll tell you they're tired after a while.
Yeah.
So anyways, we should start. So sometimes I debate, like, because I'm always late to the party. Like, and then obviously everyone else covers this stuff immediately. And I'm just like, I have a job and go to the gym and have kids. So I'm like, you know what? Oh, who cares? It's not even beating a dead horse. Everyone can say their own spiel about something. But so I watched this because I worked from home today. I was watching this, the Kramer interview with the Starbucks CEO. I have never seen a CEO bomb this badly on television. I can't recall a time I've ever seen something so bad. I mean, analysts have bombed on CNBC before. Like there was a famous clip of some dude that was talking about was it Open Door or Upstart? And then they asked him if he knew anything about the stock, and he just pretended that he had disconnection. Like analysts come on there and put their foot in their mouth, but it's kind of when a CEO does it, it's like extra special because like you would assume they have people that prep them, and Vlad Tenev, right? Completely botched his response to GameStop. That's probably the last CEO I can recall that like really screwed up, like public relations disaster. But this was like this was crazy. I guess we can show Starbucks after, but I want to play some of this. So
today, it's going to be Starbucks. It's among the worst performers in the S&P 500. It's down double digits. Company posting quarterly results
Kramer's
that I would say would be
it's in his
substantial
family
below
or his travel
consensus
trust.
and cutting its
I
full-year
think.
guidance.
Yeah, I
I don't know
wanna
why
see
you'd be so mad.
Guidance cuts I've seen in a long time. Joining us now exclusively to
Okay, I'll
Starbucks.
go for it.
with a more intense price war than what we expected. And third, challenges of our business in the Middle East that impacted us not just in the Middle East, but also in other geographies.
Okay.
Clearly,
I understand. Now, what I'm trying to figure out, sir, is why did you not feel the need to pre-announce this shortfall, given the fact in the previous quarter, your CFO said that she felt that you could have a earnings per share growth in the range of 15 to 20%. This is a substantial decline from that. And given the fact that you said on the call that April did not end well, I'd like to know why you did not feel the need to come out and say our quarter is going to be substantially worse than expected at least 4 weeks ago.
So that was a great point, I thought, this morning. They guided, I checked, they guided very aggressively this quarter. So like if there's a material like difference to your projections, you would expect them to do something earlier than earnings, right? To soften the blow with investors. If something is very different than your projections, nothing from them. So
yeah.
I think, Jim, we've been working on action plans to address these headwinds. And so what we wanted to come back with was not just the announcement, but also the action plans that we have in place, which, by the way, are not business as usual. And I'm happy to talk about them.
Well,
they seem like business as usual. I didn't see anything substantially different with, there's no contrition, no change of direction. No heads, nobody was like fired. So I don't know what you're talking about here.
It's finished because I know that investors are trying to figure out why they should hold on to the stock. Some of the things that I am confused about, I checked with all the major, both public and private companies that are in a similar business to you, and no one saw a 3% decline in comp stores because of weather, and none of them saw a negative number except for you. Is it
weather impacted their business? Like Tractor Supply said weather affected their business, which I would believe, honestly. An outdoor company, farming equipment, okay, weather, can affect your business. Like Starbucks? Really? Okay.
possible that your coffee is just too darn expensive?
Jim, I think that if I look at the U.S. occasional customer, they have clearly cut back on visits to us.
Okay, we know
value that they haven't seen because they've not been part of that environment. There are drops that are going to happen every Monday. There are bundles that we're putting in place that are attractive for them. For example, a beverage and a drink at a certain price. And so what you're seeing there is the effort we're making in order to ensure that our occasional customers get to see the value that we provide. A loyal customers.
He said action plan. I'm like, what is this word salad? So he said he wanted time. He didn't want to talk about the crappy earnings before today because he wanted an action plan in place to respond. And then I'm just listening to him this morning. I'm like, this is word salad. What? I don't know what he's talking about. We're going to get customers to come back. Like, okay, what are you going to do? Like, holy crap. So bad. Like,
program go
Kramer
from
murdered him on this,
4.3
which was really fun.
to 32.8.
And Kramer was really pissed.
I mean, those people are not occasional. Those people are hardcore. Why did your membership? And I know your membership was up 6% year over year. I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned with linked quarter. Why you had not the occasional, but the hardcore drop off.
Jim, if you look at the most loyal customers, they actually continue to come in. They continue to buy us frequently. They continue to customize and upgrade. It's at the tail of the loyalty program, particularly those that are, in the 90-day active, as we call it. The folks that didn't come back, they, again, are very similar to the occasional customers. We have an action plan in place right now to communicate directly with them with offers that have gone out even as recent as this week in order to ensure that we can reverse the visitation losses that we have seen with them and to bring them back. And yes, you're right. Overall program did grow by 6%.
Right, that's necessary. But what's more important, I think, is the late quarter decline. Now, let me, before I turn it over to my colleagues, you said it's not business as usual, and I want to make a point here, sir.
Ooh,
You
here we
are
go.
still expanding as if it is business as usual. You had, for instance, on the quarter, you talk about opening stores in Honduras and Ecuador. Is it not time to pause, sir, and figure out what's really going wrong and spend a deep dive and making it so that this decline in comp store numbers does not continue? Because it is perilous to the actual existential existence of Starbucks.
Great question. Because there's no Starbucks. I've said this before. Growth companies are growth companies until it gets ripped away from them. They do not concede that they don't say we're not a growth company, guys. It gets ripped out of them, like what happened with Netflix at a certain point, when subs stop going up all of a sudden. Same with Starbucks. He's like, why are you still pursuing this growth company strategy of constantly opening new stores? Why are you not looking at the stores that maybe are not, maybe they have overlap? Your less profitable stores. Like, that's probably what investors would love to hear. So they're still growth mode. This is a problem because they're not growing. So let's see what he says.
Jim, thank you for the question. What I would tell you is, if you look across the world, our system sales in Latin America expanded double digits. Our sales in Japan expanded double digits. Our business outside of Malaysia and Indonesia in Asia.
He's cherry picking the positive ones, right? He's not answering Kramer's question. He's just cherry picking the few places that they did have growth, but not addressing his actual real question there, which I thought was a fair question by Kramer about, like, shouldn't you look at, instead of growing stores, maybe cut back on the stores? Same store sales are sucking. Like,
Asia Pacific showed growth. If you look at the U.S. business and look at the fundamentals of
losing share, I can't go against those three companies. They are too good and too honest and too big for me to dismiss.
He's really mad.
We are the leading category player in coffee. I'm talking visitation share and what we have. If you look at our in-home coffee business, it grew share 140 basis points. But if you look at the business underpinning us, tea grew 8%, cold grew 1%. So there are elements in here. If you look at our partner sentiment and what we have inside stores, attrition is down to its lowest levels. So there's work going in. The thing we didn't do enough of is really
sort of focus on improving things there and or fighting off the competition. You still are opening many stores. I know the net number was still a pretty significant one for the quarter in China.
David, first of all, I think if you look at the overall network of stores that we have, they're in very good health. If you look at the cash on cash returns that we get from the new stores and the expansion, they're 40% cash on cash returns. We see no reason to change that equation. It does not mean that we're not focused on fixing the challenges we have.
So I don't even understand what the action plan is, because they're still doing what they were doing before the quarter. So what the hell's the action plan? And then this is in the core. I'll have the financials up, but yeah, here's like the biggest part. And this is the important part, because I'll pull up. I have the plan that they instituted in 2023. This was their vision of Starbucks from 23 to 25. So we can look at what they said they were going to do, and then what's happening right now. So this is important. The China number. I'm done with this guy. I can't hear it. Like, if he shouldn't have gone on TV, is my opinion. He had nothing. He had nothing of value to say in that interview. It was painful. Somebody at Starbucks should have told him, like, unless you were going to announce some like real change to like Starbucks, I don't understand why he went on TV. He needs to not do this again. I was like, oh my God, this is bad. Like, but is this the bottom? I mean, Kramer cried about Meta, so very well could be the bottom. I don't know. Let me pull it up.
Man, while you're pulling it up, like you mentioned it, he mentioned it. I think so many people know that there's just so many Starbuckses upon Starbuckses. Like, it works great. It's a great growth model when times are going great, but any weakness, and then that just like goes back against you. Like, eesh.
So here was like when Schultz came back, they had kind of a crisis at Starbucks
Yep.
back then. So 22. I'm sorry, I said 23.
Mhm.
They pulled out this grand vision of what they would be now, and then this was his vision. I think he wanted to set this, and then he wanted to get out of there again. I think he's just done being a CEO of a company. He really wants to be the president, honestly, this dude, but nobody cares. So this was how they were going to change what people thought at that time was a company that wasn't growing anymore. It's a mature coffee company. You know, there's things you should do as a mature company that they just don't want to do. They still want to call themselves a growth company because it's beneficial. When you're a growth company, you get a better multiple, right? Better multiple, higher share price means your stock comp is better. You know, executives have better, price on their stock. Everyone's happy. So they will fight to the bitter end to be a growth company. So unveiling roadmap for accelerated earnings per share growth, because that was a problem. Let's see. So here we go. So this is from 2022, people. So from 23 to 25, they expect comparable store sales growth in the 7 to 9% range. What was it in this quarter? Was it a positive number? Was it positive?
Not even.
No, it was not positive, let alone 7 to 9% annual. Oof. Both globally and then in the US, they wanted 4 to 5%. Oof. In China, Starbucks expects to outsize comparable store sales 25 to 24, blah blah blah. So here's their growth projections. So you can talk about they expected to grow their portfolio over 7% annually on a net basis. I mean, this is very aggressive. They expect to continue robust store development in China. So we talked about this. This was if you were going to buy, so I owned Starbucks when it was like $70 back then, and it ripped up to like 100. And I was like, I don't believe in this China development. So I bailed on it. I was willing to give it a shot at $70. As soon as it got to 100, I'm like, I don't really believe the China story is going to work. So at $100, I think I got out like 104. It ran up more after. And I think I said to people in Capital Mindset, I'm like, I would not buy Starbucks over $100 based on what they're saying they want to do. So this is the plan. They have not changed this plan. This is the same plan they're trying to do right now, and they're failing. So this is why the stock is being punished. They put out a vision from 22 to 25. It's not working, and they're not changing direction. Like, does this mean you sell the stock if you own it? I'm not saying you sell the stock. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you to buy the stock. I'm just telling you they're failing and they're not changing direction yet. And the CEO seems like a turd on television. So this is the hard part of investing. Starbucks expects global revenue growth in the range of 10 to 12% annually from 25 to 23 to 25. We're not even close to that. What was it, like 1% in the earnings, 2%?
That's what I heard.
It went down, I think. So here's the plan. So if you want to go look, here it is. You can go Google this, so we can look. Comparable store sales declined 4%. That's not positive. So they're not following that vision that they just told us about. Let's see. They opened 364 new stores. So they wanted what? What did it say? 55,000 stores?
That's what I want to say.
I think it was 55,000 stores by 25. I mean,
Yep.
They're not growing the stores what they said they were going to do. So we're having problems. This was dependent on China. 11% decline in China. After that was clearly the main effort of how they were going to grow. The vision Schultz put out in 22. And here we go. China comparable store sales. Let me blow this up. Like failing. They're failing at their vision for the company. So bad. So I don't know. And here, like they had this whole innovation thing where they had new processes that were going to like speed up the drink production. So they put out this, like, here's a website for that too. This was from back then. Talked about like the new processes to speed up the delivery of the drinks, and how they were going to cook the food faster. ordering on the app, blah blah blah. So here was their vision of like they were going to speed up making these frappuccino thingies, right? So she goes through the process. It's like, oh, there we go.
And boom.
I mean, when I saw this, I'm like not impressed. Like, I'm not impressed. Can you reproduce and then they were like, oh, this saves 5 seconds every cup to do this. Okay, let's have humans now enter the fray. Humans get tired? These are people that aren't being paid very well, probably high turnover, especially with low unemployment. Why would you want to do this for 8 hours a day? So they're probably going to have labor issues with the unions. So are you going to get someone that can do this 8 hours a day? Like, no. So humans enter a fray, and you can say you shave seconds off this, but I doubt it. I'm unimpressed. I was back then.
Yeah.
So
Only so much.
here's the company and the way it sits. I mean, it's a bloated company that's still trying to pretend to be a growth company, and it's not. So, I mean, I have an idea like any of these, like it's not a turnaround play per se. It's just they need a pivot in direction, I think. And I don't know. Is this the guy to do it? I wonder if they just rushed to fill the CEO spot because Schultz wanted out again and they just picked this dude. Very unimpressed with that interview. His answers were such crap. And he even said in the interview they wanted time to prepare an answer for the crappy quarter coming, is why they didn't release the numbers or warning about it early. And I'm like, what did you do all that time?
Yeah.
Like action plan doesn't sound like much. People wanted to hear you're going to cut stores probably to increase same store sales. The overlap. I mean, there used to be 3 Starbucks on the road right near me, the main road. There used to be 3. So there's still 2 though. They're in the malls. Like, I think people have said there could be multiple in one mall. There could be multiple Starbucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Every airport I've ever seen in my life has a Starbucks in it. It's like, do they all need Starbucks? So I don't know. Like, it's tough. It's tough. I think that the union issue they got to resolve. People are going to disagree. The union is not going away. Your stock already sucks. Just get a union deal done right now, right? Because a union deal would systematize your employment. Yeah, you got to pay more for benefits, but you're going to have to do this eventually. The union's going to win.
Rip the Band-Aid off. It's bad news anyways.
Flip it off. The stock's already in the gutter right now. Rip the Band-Aid off. And then maybe you give them more benefits, which would incentivize people to stick in this career. And then maybe you could get a benefit from these processes for employees that are incentivized to stay with the company because it's a better deal. I don't know. So you cut some stores, but you get this deal done, and maybe you have happier, more efficient employees. I don't think the unions are your enemy. They're not going away, that demand. And you're not franchised, so you can't hide behind the franchises like other fast food places. But honestly, I look at Starbucks and I'm like, you have too many drink offerings. It's too much customization. McDonald's has dealt with this very well. They've streamlined their menu. Sometimes their menu in the past got a little bloated. McDonald's eventually just fixes it. They're very maneuverable with their menu. You have to pay quite a bit if you want extras on your burgers. You got to pay. Pretty expensive now for McDonald's for some of the bacon or anything on extra. So I don't know. There's things they could do. Their food sucks. I mean, revamp the food menu. They've had the same food at Starbucks for how long? It's the same crappy pastries and reheated burger or sandwiches. So, I mean, there's an action plan. I just gave you a better action plan than that guy that runs the company.
Better breakfast offering.
Yeah, I don't just unbelievable. What a mess. So, I mean, if you're in it and you believe in the company, then stick with it. But companies go through rough patches. There's nothing else you can say. McDonald's has been through rough patches.
Yeah.
Increasing logistic efficiency, 3 billion previous guidance to 4 billion of setting deals with McDonald's track price. Yeah. Agree. Oh, I think the CEO kind of sucks at PR from the earnings call. Yes.
Yeah, it's
And then I know some people online have said like maybe younger people are moving away from coffee to
So,
like energy drinks.
yeah.
I I know people that do drink energy drinks for in the morning.
Mhm.
And tea. I know more people that do like tea and stuff. So that would do away with some of what like their customers. But still, I know some people that literally every morning it's like, I mean, we have this pivot now to hybrid working, or remote work. So a lot of people now don't leave their house. So they're not going every morning past a Starbucks. So that's probably
Plus balls.
to some degree too.
Yeah.
Because some people that was what was great. So at Starbucks, it was like religious to people. They would get up, go to work, grab a Frappo oat milk thing every day, and that was part of their status, right? They showed up with their fancy purse and their Starbucks. That was like an image to them. They would never go to a gas station to get a coffee. So, like, I don't know. This is not like a broken company. I mean, this is
No.
something going to zero, but
Yeah.
just they're life's tough for companies and they have to change to survive. So,
Yeah.
that's all I can say. What's crazy about Dutch Bros? Oh yeah, I mean you got Dutch Bros.
Mhm.
McDonald's is going to get back into the cafe game potentially. They're piloting it.
Yeah, the Cosmos.
McDonald's piloting the Cosmos idea. They might
Was it Cosmos?
never go past that, but
Yeah.
for now it's going to be a pilot.
Mhm.
Oh. We're seeing stores up everywhere. IG girls posting of their cups.
Yeah, it's just
I don't like. Well, I'm a union person. I do not like him. He can go f himself. You know, like just cut it. Like the union cause will not go away. You're only going to make it stronger the more you delay. It's inevitable. So just freaking do it.
yeah,
And I think it's a net positive to their business overall.
yeah, it gives ammo to some politician somewhere. Evil
2
big corp.
Starbucks in our shopping mall. Jesus, I don't understand that. I could take or leave their coffee. I think Panera's coffee's better. McDonald's coffee's better. It's better than Dunkin' Donuts. I'll give them that. I can't do Dunkin' Donuts anymore.
Oof.
It's Yukon, no line. Never happened in 5 years. Jesus. I see a lot of randomly placed Starbucks that are not packed in the morning, and I don't know if like I always want like people can put their order on their phone. There's nothing prioritizing people in the store compared to people that do the digital orders. I don't think so. Like you kind of think like it deteriorated like the experience of going to one because these used to be very nice Starbucks when they I remember them 10 years ago. They were very nice places. You'd go get your drink and hang out there, and they'd have music playing and fire. Some of them had fireplaces, even I think. So I mean, but now like, are you? I don't know. Like, is the experience not what it was before? Because now people just punch in their phone, show up, grab, and get the hell out of there. Does that hurt their business? I guess you'd have to think about it. The moat is the brand. It's what makes the union boycott route worrying. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the union cause is going anywhere, and they're a prime target for a fast food place because they're not franchised like a McDonald's, where that you'd have to individually. So, I don't know. Starbucks has peaked. You see all-time high 20-year guys.
Oof.
I mean, I've shown the report from I think it was the report I did on a live stream like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, a lot of companies have catastrophic failures or from their stock price, and they never recover. So that's pretty typical. Companies peak, they never get back there again. A lot of companies, Oh, excuse me.
Oh, nice segue.
All right, let's see. Like, did they even do when the Stanley Cups, like the Stanley Cups became a huge craze? Did they do some sort of Starbucks deal with that company? Like an exclusive Starbucks Stanley? I mean,
I don't know.
there is opportunities for stuff like that, I think. I don't know if they're doing. I don't really drink Starbucks. I just go to gas stations or Stewart's, which is like our convenience stores. Yeah.
I remember for sure they did like specialty cups where like for a year or so you could like maybe get a refill, or maybe I'm thinking of some other brand, but I don't know if it was a Stanley in particular.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I just don't
Crosses.
like overall, I guess I'm just like, I don't see a pivot from this growth this is a company struggling to be a growth company, and I don't like their China growth story.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Um, there's things they'd have to say that make me interested.
Mhm.
I'm debating if I don't really like the CEO so far. I'd have to look more at his background if I was going to buy this. If we get under 70, man, I don't know. That's why I've been thinking like under 70. I'm gonna really think about it.
Feel
Um,
feel free to laugh at me, but like the exposure of China, the selling in China that they do, I I'm having difficulties when it comes to the balance sheet and income statement, where it's the yuan uh, influence on there, and how comfortable I am as far as if any sort of markdown should be there. Uh, yeah, I consider it kind of difficult on my end.
their balance sheet is it's a battle zone.
It is, well, the rewards
Look at the
program.
debt. The debt. Crazy. And you figure, I mean, they're running
Sure,
retail
but
stores and they
yeah.
have to buy equipment, so be it. But
Yeah.
Jesus, I mean, the debt they packed on. They kept hiking the dividend, like double digit dividend hikes, and they were buying shares back like crazy. You knew something was up.
Hmm.
Like, this is not sustainable. And I said kind of about Lowe's. Lowe's had that crazy run during lockdown because they were buying shares back tooth and nail with debt. And it was unsustainable. I don't think they've done very well since then either. But they got to cut the dividend in half. I really think so. Um,
Just rip off all the bad, all the band-aids.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
600 for almost 650 million a quarter. And look at this operating cash flow this quarter shot down.
Yep.
I mean, you didn't even have operating cash flow to pay the dividend this quarter. Like, red, warning bells, warning bells. This is not good. If this was this might be temporary. I mean, it looks temporary from some of their other quarters, but I mean, I don't know. Where's his action plan? Let's see I don't see an action plan like he said. So
Yeah. Yeah. That if you're gonna do a dividend with cash flows like those being lumpy, pretty darn lumpy from a quarterly perspective, either make it like so minuscule that like no one cares or bothers to question it, or just do specials.
mhm.
Probably, my opinion. I,
For me, seeing them do some efficiency things, I want to see more of that, and I want to see what's going on with China. It's not priced in like Tesla was still uh, growth. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I would like to see trimming the fat here, like cutting stores, changes the menu,
Yeah.
uh, something to increase efficiency and cash flow at this point. Uh,
Speaking of Tesla and then like with
okay, so we're
Starbucks,
done
like
with anything else, Starbucks,
yeah,
or
yeah, just like one little thing though. Like speaking of Tesla with this company, we dogged on Tesla for their abysmal delivery numbers, but they got ahead of their disappointing earnings. And for better or for worse, however we feel about it, the price was what the price moved around with, given the periodicity. And if Starbucks got ahead of the bad news, maybe things would be different. Uh,
like I'll give Elon like could see the delivery numbers suck. So all
yeah,
of a sudden he's like kind of pivoted to try and increase FSD
mhm,
cash.
yeah,
It seems, which is a
mhm,
better margin than selling cars.
yeah.
I mean, they're fighting, right? Like
I don't agree
I
with
don't
them,
see them
but
even fighting yet,
yeah,
Starbucks.
yeah,
Yeah, at least Tesla's trying when they see like the slowing of car sales.
hmm,
Um,
yeah. So that's all I just wanted to add. Like just a tale of two random companies that
all right,
people.
earnings review or Boeing.
Uh,
We'll finish with weed. I want to finish with weed.
all right. Let's go. Let's go earnings. Let's go earnings. Yeah, with the nice
Obviously,
orderly section.
people, we're not going to do deep dives of every company from earnings week.
No, no,
Um,
just the ones that you found interesting. I found interesting. Maybe
okay,
we found interesting.
so here, da-da-da. Gee, I
Ta-da.
wonder which one gets the most attention. No,
YouTube Finance, it already happened Monday.
Yeah. So I was gonna pull. Where is it?
Good
See,
old
McDonald's. The difference between Starbucks and McDonald's, it's just like McDonald's just has better leadership, and they know how to deal with world events that hit them, and they've done it many times. So it's like, yeah, they dealt with Ukraine and Russia. All the stores were gone. Slight dip in the stock, which I had told people that's the time to buy it, went up. Now Middle East problems, right? They can deal with that. I don't know what kind of. It's tough for me to talk about McDonald's because, like, if you're like 20 years old, I don't see why you would buy this, like, to get into this company. So, like, it's more like talking to like people that already own the stock, to say you maybe buy more. That's the people I'm more talking to, I guess. But like, if you're 20 years old, is this going to beat the S&P 500 next 20, 30 years? Like, probably not. But it's a good company. So they deal with traumatic things because they're a world, wide company. So they're used to things like all of a sudden all their, Israel is a mess and the Middle East hates them, but it's okay. So they talked about like customers, they've pushed the price increases as far as they can go, which I knew from from lockdown, right? Which companies had real pricing power. That was how we finally knew what companies in the world really had pricing power. We found out McDonald's did. We found out Pepsi did. Who else? There was a few other companies, like real companies that could actually raise their prices when their volumes went down.
Mhm.
But there's a limit to that. So, and we appear to hit that brick wall. And like me, like I brought my family for a lunch one day at McDonald's, like $50. So I can go to a diner for cheaper price than that. So, they recognize that, I think, this quarter. So, but McDonald's will react. And I already was reading news today that they already kind of have some ideas of how they're going to change their menu, maybe some different product offerings, different pricing promotions. They have the app where they can do some different things. They have all these, like, they're already brainstorming how they can like deal with these problems of the price of food has gotten too far for customers. This is what you want. McDonald's is like the gold standard. So if you want to like compare McDonald's to Starbucks about how they react to bad news, and McDonald's is already thinking about what they're going to do to change things up. And they have no problem changing their menu or their, not even just the pricing, but like how they package, 2 for $5 or stuff like that. They're always thinking about those type of things. So I love this company. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. It's a giant company. You're not going to get a lot of store growth, but they have levers still. They can increase franchise fees, things like that. So be it. Don't buy McDonald's.
tale of two earnings and price charts, because it as relatively down from a 5-day perspective as McDonald's is, like, I think people can be just fine. Plenty
Yeah.
of people would be just fine with that ride.
I mean, do you know like how hard they changed the entire franchise system what was it, last year or the year before? Where they wanted to bring in more diverse franchise owners, not just have it be passed from from a dad to his kid.
Mhm.
Everyone was pissed. Like, nobody liked this change, and they did it anyways. Like, and that's why they're such an amazing company, because they're not afraid to make those hard choices. Like, is Starbucks? They have not shown us that they're willing to make those hard decisions. I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't get to stay a big company this long without some hard choices along the way. That's for sure.
The odds are stacked against you to last as long as even Starbucks has.
Yeah.
Companies fail in 50 years. So,
Oh yeah, especially when you're this wide public facing. Like,
mm.
oh yeah.
So McDonald's warned about different things. Same store sales rose 2.5%. When it did drop after their earnings, I'm like people worried. I'm like, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it was for those that don't know, peek behind the scenes, people were like, "Oh, Dan, McDonald's, are you worried?" And yeah,
So
it turns out
they
the
were
ride.
even recognizing like they're losing out to some. They track these things. They're losing out competitors on customer perception of value. So Wendy's, I'm gonna laugh at that. Things aren't too bright overseas. Same store sales fell. You know, they got some problems in the Middle East, no doubt.
Yeah.
Does anybody really want to hear me talk about McDonald's? I feel like it's the most boring goddamn subject in the world.
It's a nice perspective. Not everybody gets the perspective of someone that's already holding a winner.
Fast food
albeit a
work,
boring
cooking
winner.
Big Macs, whipping frappuccinos will start making minimum wage $20 per hour. Yeah, California, interesting. I mean, New York, it's $15 an hour minimum wage in the city.
Mhm.
So when you hear people say New York's minimum wage is whatever number, that's probably the New York City rate they're talking about. The upstate rate is less, and it might never get to $15. Jeremy thinks fast food workers make $20 an hour at Chipotle in California is the reason to short the stock. I like. I don't think it's going to change the price of the food that much. Companies will adapt just fine. I doubt it.
Yeah. Big market, yes, but like the only thing that moves the needle, the only like they don't have levers to pull on their own end. Like, come on.
If someone ever says McDonald's has too much competition, my God, can I go laugh? It's like, shut the hell up. Seriously. Oh no, Dairy Queen and Burger King. I'm so scared. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, it's
AMD.
AMD. Yeah, this one. This one is one that you.
Hey, so remember,
around
somebody
sometimes.
says that I always talk about winners, right?
Mhm.
Apparently, I always talk about winners. I win every trade. I'm such a cocky SOB. I am losing this trade. There, people. There you go. Not everything's a winner. I started to dollar cost average into AMD
Mhm.
at like 175. So I didn't get it at 200. That was an egregious price. So I started, and I said, this company's a roller coaster. If you want to own this company, you know, I do not do big tranche buys of this company. You're crazy. Like little buys over long periods of time because I think it's a long-term hold for me. I like the story. So, you know, and here, you know, as it's gone down, I make my weekly purchases, which has helped, right? So it's not such a pain, but it's not going well yet. But I think the future of what they're doing, I believe in it.
Mm.
And I don't just because the AI momentum is gone. I think people are like, oh, AI is dead the trade because the momentum's gone, right? But it's like if you look at these companies, they're all telling you they're all doing just fine in sales, and their sales, you know, are growing. Their freaking guidance gets increased. Micron is 2 years sold out of AI freaking memory almost. They're almost sold out of 25. AMD increased guidance on their AI data centers from last quarter to this quarter. They increased guidance. I mean, revenue is doing just fine. Like to get freaking punished for game revenue, which is part of it, I think. Because that's probably the big critique, people. If you go down to the bottom, data. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And they said like they can't produce enough of their GPUs for demand. So that's their problem. They can't make enough right now, and they have newer GPUs coming on board. So, oh my God, no, not the freaking gaming revenue segment. Like, this is only going to get more irrelevant over time. But like, they make the AMD, AMD does PlayStation's chip, and PlayStation's what, 4th, 5th year now? The PlayStation 5.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's cyclical. You know, they get more sales as new releases. So this should perk up at the end of the year because they have, well, I believe based on PlayStation Pro is going to be released this fall, I suspect, with a better AMD chip in it. So there you go. But like this, you're not like, this is funny when people harp on this. Like, are you buying AMD or Nvidia for their gaming segment? Like, no, you're not. So
Yes.
yeah, this is a cyclical part of the business, but their data center part is killing it. So if you're going to own this stock, it's a crazy, man. Like, and you better be able to hold it. And if you don't have the balls to hold something, like, just don't do it. Just buy the index or buy all of these in a freaking semi ETF, so you don't have these crazy swings. So that's what I think. Lisa Sue's the GOAT. But people are more, if you want to buy with like I believe in AMD and my friends and me do, and we always have. The people that were harping on Intel, how many people were chirping about Intel when it did its little run?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
now
I
it's
called it
exactly where
trash.
once was.
I called it trash.
Yeah,
And it
30s.
did a run. And I said, I still think the company's not I don't like their plan. I don't care what the stock price, the stock does what the stock does. I didn't like, what's his, Gensler?
Gelsinger.
I never liked his plan for Intel. I never did. I didn't care. And people were like, oh, I'm not going to pivot just because the stock went up. I didn't like I don't like it. I think you should split the company in two. Foundry business, design business. I don't think it makes sense to be in the house the same. So he had his adorable run.
Yep.
Now we're come back to reality. It's a troubled company still. They're losing money on their foundry business. That was a big critique. I'm like, who's going to come? They've never had a foundry business. So they've got to get clients, which means you got to take them from other companies like Global Foundries or Samsung or Taiwan. So who are you stealing business from? I don't know. The government's propping them up. It's not like they're going to go bankrupt. The U.S. government doesn't have business with them. The DoD, they got that, but yeah. You believe in this company if you want. So, I will stick with the GOAT.
One of the few, if not the only one company that I'm aware of that fought against the Altman Z-score and won.
I like what they're, she said in the call. Their priorities are very clear: accelerate data growth center, ramping GPU production. So that's kind of they're doing quite well with that part of their business. Yeah, the two smaller irrelevant parts didn't do so well, but DCA into it, I will.
Hey, there we go. Throw the comment section a bone.
Dan is rolling in dough. I don't really know how to answer that. I mean,
to know you're a baker. Chuck.
I know. Wait, I should be like the.
Oh yeah, Starbucks CEO.
That guy. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I might be retired from trading this year. Just got the one thing.
Hey, there's that trader's adage, like sell in May and go away.
So Amazon is that is not a trade. So
oh yeah.
That's I finally entered. I don't even know if I don't have enough. I'm not the person to talk about Intel or Amazon. So, but I'm entered into it. So I thought before earnings, I thought they were going to knock earnings out of the park based on what I could tell. And I thought their ad business was very compelling. So I guess and I thought I liked all of it really. I thought it was the time. So, I'm gonna buy it, hold it now for 20 years. So and that was the Disney money.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't even my trading money.
It'll be fine. You're pretty sure that I don't think anyone would,
Intel strikes me as kind of sideways coming good for trading. I mean, it could
It's a weird ride.
I see nothing compelling. When people talk about Intel, they just tell you it's cheap, right? Like they're like, oh, it's cheap because it's a value. It's because it's so much cheaper than AMD. Like it deserves to be cheaper than AMD.
Yeah, it needs to prove it to be,
You don't have one of the best. You don't have Jensen Huang. You don't have Lisa Su running Intel.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. I don't like Intel's plan. I mean, yeah, it very well could just go sideways for the next few years. That's good for trade. Yeah, that could be good for options or trading. If it stays kind of in a narrow sideways channel.
Yeah, depending on your strategy.
Yeah, like I think that was Apple's Yield Max. I think did better than Apple. One of the few that actually did because Apple has kind of been in this narrow channel recently, which would benefit a Yield Max strategy. Although it barely beat Apple by like little teeny amount, but not the tax after taxes.
Oh yeah,
you ain't getting nothing. Well, Dan and Bacon.
Hey, Cole.
I should change my name. The Dan Bacon Show. I don't know.
No.
All right, so I don't want to read this transcript. We're already long here.
Yeah.
So 3M.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of 3M now that the split has happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Not for me as of right now. I just. What are
So
your
we
thoughts?
had, so we look at the presentation.
Mhm.
So what am I seeing? So they're still reporting the healthcare business because they kind of have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they just split it. So here's, I thought this was interesting. That's the money they got from. So I'm assuming as a split up fee, the other company borrowed this money to pay 3M because that's usually what happens. So this is probably a debt on the business of the healthcare company that split off. Sucks to be you. My cabinet company, same thing. They had to basically pay a or a separation fee from the parent company. Why do they do that? Because they can. So, but margins went up. So what I kind of was suspecting. I was like, they said the healthcare part of their business was fastest growing, but I was like, I don't know, maybe it's not the most profitable because you have to deal with healthcare,
Mhm.
hospitals and insurance companies. So maybe fast growing, but low margin. So their margins have slightly creeped up this quarter. So you see like 400 basis points. So yeah, interesting-ish. This is like, where do you think it's going to go though? Again,
That's
this is
where.
another company. I want to see a pivot
Yeah.
from the 3M that was this boring, crappy company deteriorated for all these years. So just splitting off the health is not enough. I want real actionable change for this company. I'd like to see them be more like Procter and Gamble, take all this brands they have and start to par off, take some of the less profitable brands that they own out, which is what Procter and Gamble did to return value. They used to have way more brands than they do now. They started selling stuff and getting rid of their less profitable, stuff they sold. They don't even sell that much, as people think, but something like that. Um, so we'll see. This is all. Look at this, all fancy. I don't know. I didn't see anything. They kept harping on organic growth is what they want to tell you in here. They're going to organically grow. They're not going to buy stuff. So they're a new company. That's what they're telling you. I mean, we'll see. But the lawsuits, they kind of talked about that.
Hey, there we go.
So
99.
here's this one. So this was from the earnings. Should I zoom in? They finalized 2 major legal settlements, granted final approval for the deal for the PFAS, the water issue, $10 billion over the next 13 years.
Mhm.
So you could model that now. I assume equal payments maybe. And then earplugs.
Yep. Settlement.
Earplugs were 99% of people signed on to it. They said 5.3 billion through 2029. So we're kind of getting some actual, information here finally. Interesting. So there's that. So you could plug that in,
Mhm.
calculate it. You just DCF, punch in those discounts, and there you go. It's a buy.
I
But
got a reference here.
other than that, oh, by the way, here you can see the cash difference. There you go.
Yep.
On their balance sheet, not balance sheets. That's roughly, it's not 7.7, but you can see kind of the cash increase between the market securities and that. So it's kind of another one. I'm like, what do you want from this company? I mean, if they gave the new CEO's I think he's a good pick. He seems well qualified from
Mm.
L3 Harris. I kind of looked at his background. So he's got the tools to do this. I'm like, what's he going to do? Are you going to do something different with this company, or just kind of do what Starbucks is doing? Just telling us you're going to do, I don't know, action plan, then it's no action. So I think they could become a more profitable machine than they are. But it would require some hard choices. Maybe there's some things you are in that some of the products are just not profitable anymore. I mean, if we go, can you pull up the brands? I wonder. Let me look.
All the
Brands.
brands.
Okay.
Yep.
hard decisions, right? I mean, do all the what's the margins on all these? Should you chop some of these out? Should you merge some of these brands? Maybe, I don't know. The one interesting thing though, if housing picks up, this should do better because a lot of the products they have now are construction related.
Ah,
Now that the health brands have been split out, I mean, this is almost, you could think about. I think this
no.
is not as great a housing play as other stuff, but
Yeah, not as clean
Yeah,
and clear.
no, it's definitely not as clean. But
Yeah.
they have all these sandpapers. They have freaking, what is this? Sealants. There's some really weird names of some of these products, don't they?
For sure. Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Epoxies of some type.
not one of those things that your everyday Joe Schmo necessarily would
We'll
know.
see. There's another company, like beyond just the numbers. I want to hear what's the difference? Why is this a better version of 3M than what was 2-3 years ago when it was $150 or $200 a share? 3M, great company, is a buy on my DCA. Ooh. I mean, yeah, I bet if you plug it in, and especially with that $7 billion they just got, that probably makes it juicier. If he could, I'd really like to see them. I'd really like a direction, just something from the CEO.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to differentiate yourself from the old 3M company now that you're the new one? Because that was part of Disney's thesis, right? Disney told us what they were going to do. I felt confident enough they were going to execute, and they did. And it went from 80 to 120. So 3M is the Intel of industrials. I mean, for real, dude. Like, pretty much. It's so far. Sandpaper is the future. Sandpaper is the future. I mean, they have a lot of additives and stuff in the automotive industry here.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is automotive based.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're going to talk about chemical companies, I'd actually be more excited about DuPont, honestly, than this so far. But probably not sure if you see anything else I'm not sure if you have seen anything else at big box stores. I mean, yeah, the 3M's got lots of products in like Home Depot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's interesting though, like given the weirdness of it, like because economies of scale do matter given it depending on your customer base, but yeah, some sort of focus. If it's efficiency, say it and how. If it's spinning things off, cool. Tell us roughly what the plan is. That'd be cool. But for now, yeah, like I'm willing to sit on the sidelines and wait for any sort of clarity.
There's the debt,
and then consider.
That's probably the debt from the 7 bill they got because they haven't split it out yet.
Yep.
From the health insurance part. Oy vey. Organic sales down. A lot of negative numbers here.
Yeah, we're abundance of high percentages here.
This is always like, I want Grand Slam stocks. Otherwise, I just buy an index. Like that's why I'm at my point of my life, and I don't see it yet.
Same here.
Yeah, but keep watching. So okay. Ooh, look at that kid. Oh
yeah,
man.
Got a headset.
Their guidance. So what are they guiding? Okay, flat 2%. Oof.
Winner.
Okay, adjusted margins. They're saying more efficient. Okay, so maybe this is they're just going to keep saying more efficient with flat growth.
Yeah,
which can work if you really go into that though. Make some difficult choices.
At the same time, and I don't want I don't want to skew towards that whole like you must be efficient and only efficient. Like 3M used to be seen as an innovative company, and I would hope that they still have like enough intelligent people in there that could do something that like that creates a viable product. Like I know the sticky note is commoditized and kind of silly, but it once was a revolutionary product that certainly was.
They haven't bought anything in a long time.
Yeah, Yep.
What the hell did they buy in 2018? They
That
bought
I do not
something.
know. Had to be something though.
Oh.
While you're looking things up, Dan, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Dan Weston YouTube channel.
Do you even know? Oh,
Oh,
Modal's Technology. This looks like it.
yeah. How many
Enterprise
built?
oh, maybe not though. Enterprise value 1 billion.
Oh, really? That doesn't seem
That's
to.
not it.
Yeah, it had to be.
That's part of that. That wouldn't have been the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was a shopping spree of sorts.
Oh, here's another. Corning closed acquisition stage. Oh no, Corning bought them. I don't know. Maybe it was just this.
Yeah.
Oh, this here it is.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
That's a bigger number.
This plus that other one. That's
Yeah.
about the right goodwill number. Medical device maker. God, how do you Aslity? Slitty? What? Aslity? Okay. The hell? Industrial Commerce. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Advanced wound dressing, specialized systems that use a vacuum to seal off acute chronic wounds, promote faster healing.
Okay. I would
3M bought that.
I would imagine that got spun off into the new co.
Do you really think that's worth $6.7 billion?
I-
What's the TAM on that?
They
Seems like
better
that
be.
doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. Like smell test.
That has I would hope that that's a proven company for that price tag.
Wait, would boost their presence advanced wound care is valued at more than $8 billion and is growing at a rate of 4 to okay. This is probably part of the reason why 3M was such a stinker for they paid $8 billion for something that didn't even get double-digit growth. Like this is probably part of the reason why it just was such a bad stock for so long. Oh well. Anyways.
Yeah.
Vacuum wound suction. I still have compression dressings from the army. I carry them when I go hiking. I don't know, in case I guess I fall on a tree or something. So they work well. I mean, I don't think they expire. You compress the hell out of it.
Yeah, I got some combat application tourniquets.
I don't have a tourniquet. I didn't grab one when we left. They had like a Velcro one with a little plastic knob.
Yep.
You would turn it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grab one, so I just have the bandages. I don't know how long we're going this. We're at an hour already. Holy smokes. But there's so many turnaround plays, right? Like everything's like a turnaround play people talk about these days, unless it's like Sofi or Tesla, apparently. Everyone just wants to talk about turnaround plays online all the time. But
it's such a hard thing, though. Like, why?
It's so hard. This is such hard. That's what I keep wanting to get across to people. Turnaround investing is super hard. Because a lot of these companies don't. You want to think they all turn around. It's like Intel could very well just be a middling $30 nothing burger of a stock for years.
Yeah, like I get the appeal. Like for example, Abercrombie and Fitch, but like there were so many years where that stock was just, and rightfully so, awful.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had another whistleblower. I saw he went to Congress. Sam, I saw this one. He testified about the fuselages.
Oh, that's great.
Like a crap show to build. 2 whistleblowers are now dead. You like that? 2 of them now.
Oh, geez, this just feeds the conspiracy.
There was the one like a month ago, and then somebody just like this week, another whistleblower died, I guess, from some random infection. So weird.
Conspiracy fuel right here.
So this is what I don't. This is why, like, there's no recognition by Boeing, like at all. No contrition. They are still like in full denial mode. This is really weird to me.
Same.
Like when Raytheon had the issue with the engines, they put out a press release. They admitted there was a problem immediately. Action plan where they were going to do inspections this long, and this was an estimated cost to it. Bam. Yep. And I like, if nothing else went wrong, I'm like, that's a great investment. I like how they just came out and like, yeah, bad news. They got it right out of the way. Boeing, man, every time someone comes out and says something, they just deny it immediately. They admit nothing. And it's just like it's so cringe. Like there's no, I don't think they barely apologize for anything. They say everything's fine, but we're gonna work on our process, and all the bad stories you hear about them just the production quality is just atrocious and missing parts, and they just wedge stuff together that barely fits when it should, and when you're flying in it. What a mess. So it's cheap. Oh yeah, it is. And people were telling me as soon as it got under $200, I heard people like, "Oh, it's cheap, guys, Boeing." I'm like, "Do you understand what you're buying? Like this
wouldn't touch
company is a nightmare."
Yeah.
There is no turnaround yet. I mean, like they haven't admitted any faults. You haven't even seen lawsuits yet. The same CEO, it's the guy was in the CEO was on the board when the planes were crashing in the ground. The dude that took over.
Mhm.
I mean, you would have said, "Oh, that's the turnaround." No, it wasn't. They kept doing what they did before. So I don't know, this company. I like this. A disconnect between Boeing and the factory floor. This is another, like, they're not even in Washington, which is like ridiculous. How is the headquarters not in Washington? There's no excuse for that. But they're in Washington, D.C. That tells you a lot about what they think about. Do they need to increase the quality of the planes, or they just need to get lobbyists and be buddies with the friggin' politicians? Why are they in Washington, D.C., their headquarters? So they could have a satellite office there for military contracts. So that's a big, and they've already addressed they're not going to move. They said. So denial again. They're denying everything. There is no recognition of any fault with this company. There is none. They're fighting everyone. So retaliation on these whistleblowers again, and I'm not convinced at all. I don't like any of this. For you to say invest, it's like they are fighting every change tooth and nail, I think.
It's so messed up that like effectively we have a duopoly between these guys and Airbus. And anecdotally, it seems like Airbus is like, "Hey, Boeing, like if Boeing could get its crap together, that'd be great. We're too backlogged here. Like, come on."
Airbus is a French company, so it's like,
Yeah.
we got 8 years of back Airbus production. They probably just like, that's fine. C'est la vie. Eat your crumpets. They're not going to expand. They're just like, we got a great business. Got like 10 years of friggin' planes on order. So yeah, they shut down. Somebody proposed that to put it to the shareholders to move the headquarters. So they shut it down. Yeah.
That's great.
Hilarious. Yeah. This guy, Glass Lewis, recommended investors vote against 3 Boeing directors and the CEO in a proxy advisor. So I don't even know what that means, but let's see. Citing dissatisfaction over efforts to transform the safety and culture of the plane maker, Boeing declined to comment. It responded by referencing comments on need to improve safety in its recent proxy statement. So that's it. Somebody comes in and says we need to change leadership. Oh, let's just not even say anything. Deny. So again, people, like, if you're telling me that they've changed or they're whatever, no, they have not. They have not changed. There's no change at this company. They're fighting all of you. They will deny it to the end, and they haven't said it. Nothing's changed. All the scrutiny they're facing, they don't care. They're probably just figuring they'll get through it, pay some lawsuits at this point. They're just praying to God no planes fall out of the sky again. Nobody's been fired. You got the CEO stepping down at the end of freaking year. Like, this is atrocious. And then this happened because, well, we'll show. So this was big news. Huge loss. Freaking free cash flow just gone. They're just like, nothing's coming in because they can't make planes right now because everything's like shut down. They can barely make planes because of all the problems. So they are a money sucking machine at this point, or almost $4 billion negative free cash flow. So of course, what do? You got to do something. So they issue notes. Yeah, Dad. That's what we're going to do. because issuing shares, it's been the share price has gotten obliterated. So there you go. They got a double B or a triple B negative rating on their was it senior note, unsecured note. So there you go.
That sounds like a great rating.
Yeah. So the rating is supported by a $529 billion backlog. I mean, I would value that with a freaking grain of salt. So, it's not even this is such a weird business to model because they literally like can't get their act together just to make the damn planes that they have ordered.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of them. And that's, I know what people are like, it's right there. $500 billion of orders is just sitting there. And this company can't do it. They can't get their freaking ducks in a row to make these damn planes that everybody wants. Like what a wild company. Like this is so unique to every other company you've ever looked at in your life. Like those companies are like fighting to have margin and they're fighting for new customers every day. This company, it's like they're all just like sitting in a parking lot and you can't let them in the door because you're so incompetent. Like you forgot your keys. But it's such a weird backwards business. So yeah. They need to restore. And then this is another problem. They're going to buy that fuselage company that they split off. They said they're going to Spirit because that was the company that had all the problems with the fuselage quality. What are you going to buy it with? Because you are losing money tooth and nail. You just took out debt to pay your bills. How are you going to buy the Spirit Aerospace company? Right? They don't have cash. So it's, what are we doing? Debt or shares? You pick one. I don't know how they're going to buy it. So that sucks. So anyways, there's that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Like you have a backlog and you have negative free cash flow.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is crazy. They can't get out of their way. They just can't get out of their way. Negative margins. Of course it's negative. They can't make any dang planes.
Nope.
So, and they want to talk about awards. What do you do? I heard someone say they should split off the military part of it. I'm like, dear Lord. That's the only thing holding them afloat at this point. They have a pretty decent military contracting, division, keeping the commercial planes afloat. This company would be screwed if they lost the military wing. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see. Here. I think they put it at the bottom. No, maybe not. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the other whistleblower. John
yeah.
Dean, Boeing's supplier. So he like, I think he was testifying about Spirit Aerospace, not Boeing necessarily. So where is it? He died Tuesday morning after a struggle with a sudden fast spreading infection.
Not to get all tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, but
you're gonna kill someone, maybe that's how you do it for deniability, right? Mysterious illness.
I just hope that the most recent whistleblower, doesn't, like, things don't come in threes in this case.
Oh my God. His condition rapidly deteriorated. He was put on an ECMO machine, which, okay, I know what ECMO is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Boeing is just whacking people to cover up what is going on here.
I hope not. Like, I'm not saying it is. It's just really bad timing for sure.
Wait, okay, here. This is off topic, but I saw your old stream on slow-mo talking about you, and my God, that video is bad. Oh yeah. Oh, I saw that ear comment. Horrible. Yeah. Oh, you want to? Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
Did Everything Money price Boeing?
They might have. I'm not sure. Like I don't have a good reference.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can pull.
I'll do some looking as well to help.
If you like that, dude, there's so much more that you will experience if you follow Everything Money. It's atrocious. So I bet you they deleted that video. So bad.
2 years ago. There we go. There's maybe 2 days ago.
Like, maybe this is the easier way to do it. Let's see. Boeing? Do you see Boeing?
I see a video from 2 days ago. I'll share it in chat. It's just I'm trying.
Oh
to
wait,
see
right
when
there.
I started.
Stocks on sale.
Backed by popular
Yep.
demand, 3 stocks on Instagram and Twitter. And the joke was interesting history of
Boeing
Boeing.
first.
This is Boeing versus
Yep.
Airbus in terms of their orders.
Okay.
You know, pretty much in line. Look at this all here. And then look at this. Airbus has absolutely skyrocketed versus Boeing. So Airbus is taking advantage of Boeing's bad reputation right now. You know, basically right now there's an account I follow. I think it's called
we're off to a
Babylon
good
B
start.
on Instagram and Twitter. And the joke was that now flight attendants are announcing to people in the unlikely event of a safe landing.
Okay.
Obviously 101 billion fell to 58 billion in 2020, but it's climbing back up here. 2022, they did 66.6 billion. Let's see what they did in 2023. So we're going to the income statement.
Oh.
Wow, big jump.
Is he literally just gonna look at
$77.8
numbers
billion
with Boeing?
dollars from that 66.6. So
Price target
revenue's
roughly around like 9.
coming back here. Now, Boeing is a
Or
prime
9 minutes
example
and
of a
50
company that
seconds.
if you think this
Okay.
is just a short-term problem, do you start buying it? Maybe so. That's the interesting part. But keep in mind, guys,
This is more than he's ever done in the past. You know the criticism that we've done, Fabio, me, other people, is I think he has changed a bit, probably mostly because he lost $10 million. But anyways, like he never used to talk about anything beyond just his stupid software. But what did he say?
Guys,
Like 10
Boeing's not
seconds?
off its
No.
multi-year low. Back
This
here
is
is at
useless
120. Back in
analysis.
September of 2021, hit parts is when their stock started to fall. Makes sense. Revenue fell, stock fell, etc. Okay.
This isn't like he's not talking about anything about the difficulties. There's no change in management. Like this is so useless. This like to discuss a company like this.
Remember, COVID wasn't until here. All right. So
Where's
it's
he
not
going here?
quite, they're at 10% as of right now, not quite to where they need to go, but that shows a lot of potential for driving that profit. And if you remember, I invested in Disney,
Here's
I
where the
invested in
profit, they can't
Southwest
fix their production
Airlines.
quality, and they can't.
I
make
do believe
claims.
the gross margins and the Airbus is Airbus.
I honestly wouldn't even model this company until
Yeah.
certain things happen
Oh,
in my mind about like production and quality controls, new CEO.
Yeah.
Why would you? Don't even. I'm not even modeling it. Honestly, we're not even there. That's the last step of an evaluation. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even there with 3M either. I'm not going to model it yet. I'm not at that point where I'm satisfied. So, and to me, like that's a turnaround play. Like the modeling's the last part. Like how these people don't like. How does this company turn around? That's why it's called the turnaround play. How do they change the fate of the company? If you can't answer that, how do you model it? How do you get to that point? This is why this is such hard investing. And I've done it with Disney and Ford now. I'll probably do it again at some point.
About proper investing is about making the right fund.
Okay, shut
9 and 12%.
I want to see his pivot.
There we go. Yeah.
That was back
you
in
got it.
Okay. Like, okay, let's look at this. Revenue growth 6, 9, 12. Do you like? Oh my god! Like, I don't even know what to say.
I'm gonna need this company to lay out proper plans on how they get that revenue because we have a backlog. Yay! But like with
How do you
whistleblowers
get
coming out of
growth?
the damn
Well,
woodwork.
they got to be able to build planes without them
Yeah.
breaking.
Yeah. And when you have whistleblowers coming out the damn woodwork, like
Okay, revenue. Let's look at revenue from first quarter 23 to 24. They went from 6.7 down to 4.7, I think, from the presentation. So they're losing money hand over fist, and that's how you want to handle this. Oh my god, this is like the biggest like. They're losing money like crazy. So can you imagine if you did his software and you picked 6%, so your linear it's a 6% revenue gain every year that he tells the software to go. So he's doing 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years modeling 6% every year when they just went from 6.7 to 4.7, which is just catastrophic loss of revenue. How the hell do you freaking model a plane like this company for 10 years? I would model it for like 2-3 years at most.
In 2022, things have gotten.
They have never, like the free cash flow margin, they have never in their history had 6. but you're modeling 6, 8, 10. Like, oh my god,
Magic.
Better since then. So maybe I go
they don't even have a PE, but okay, that's about what he always puts.
Yeah.
a
Okay,
little
I
bit
can't
lower
wait to
here.
see what
Maybe I go 4, 7, and 10% revenue
Ooh.
growth.
Ooh.
That way,
Did he show
double
his
revenue on my
analyst?
middle nibble.
Yeah, he does.
There's a movement. And with profit margin 2.5%
Wait,
free
what
cash
happened?
flow. So you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna go to the income statement.
Yeah, he
When
invests
they were
in
more
the numbers, but
stabilized, what was their
he
profit
does give
margin?
a
He does?
Well, 4,
he does.
6, and 8.
Oh, he went back, you big baby.
I think
Yeah.
Boeing,
Analyze it.
even if Airbus overtakes them, but I just want to
Come
see
on.
if these assumptions play out.
Oh, I
It's
hate
the
this
fall,
guy.
the news gets negative. Now,
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. 82 to
Yep.
300.
It's a buy right now, Dan.
Yeah, it's a buy, right? It's the mid price, right? Jesus Christ.
What
What value does this give? I don't understand. So
None.
it's a buy between 80 and 300. There you go. Pay me $50 a month. You're welcome. I can't stand this.
It's
Wait, what was it? People think I didn't know if I really want to talk about PayPal in this video. I was debating it. Raytheon action plan, fix engines, Boeing's action plans. Customers will see value proposition on our app. Boeing reminds me of good old boy type of company. Everyone holds the line. We will be fine. Nobody snitch. And if you do snitch, you die, apparently, because all the whistleblowers are getting offed. Dan, you should have bought PayPal when Jeremy told you. I have a video. I saved it because I figured he was going to delete it. I have like one of his first PayPal videos where he says he bought it, and it was like $150. So
there's a
yeah.
great ride.
Oh God, he's gotten. I think I think Strongman said he's changed his cost basis, right, to say he bought it at like 60 now. Freaking liar. He was buying it like $150, $120.
how much margin of safety do you need?
All the way down.
Guys, I'm going to add it to my watch list.
What a clown. I can't stand this. Okay.
Good old
Last
Paul.
one.
Good old Paul.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, last topic.
It's finally happened. No, it hasn't yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say it hasn't happened yet. It just news reporting on maybe.
Stay off the weed. I wondered too, because I was like, Biden is going to pull out every trick in his book to beat Trump, which he should. So I'm like, he's going to forgive every friggin' student loan debt he can possibly forgive. And I was thinking, I'm like, he's probably going to do the change on marijuana, but I wasn't sure because he's such an old school Democrat. And they say they like marijuana, but they don't really like marijuana. So they're still like the dare people. But I don't know. We'll see. This doesn't mean it's going to poised.
No.
Poised is different from has. So,
Mhm.
and they're talking about changing it from Schedule 1 to 3, which is what is not legalization per se, but it's kind of the change we all expected. So, Schedule 3 would make it like prescription based, I guess, and it would have to be for use. I remember it has to be for like approved uses. So interesting. What do you think? Is it going to happen?
I have no idea. Like part of me leans towards no. That being said, if there's enough pressure, maybe. But
there's still a lot of people that don't agree with marijuana being legalized.
Yeah.
So Schedule 3 are still controlled, still subject to rules. So this is not like you can't just go buy this like 5-hour energies or something. So,
Yeah.
Which is funny though, because look at the freaking move. Crazy. This is what I don't do. I don't do marijuana. I looked into different options with it in the past, and I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, because like so many of them like are just commoditized. Like a grower, like
look at this shit. Look at this. This will give you a heart attack trading this stuff. I mean, if you're on the ball with this stuff, so be it. I'm too old for this. I'm gonna freaking die if I do this. So, man, $8, boom, 15. It could be $8 by Monday again.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
too
was the other?
too early. Too early.
Sun was it Sun Growers
Oh
or
yeah,
Sundial?
yeah. One
This
of
was
those.
one too, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
No, this was Sundial.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
god. Same. Look at that spike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tilray. Let me try Tilray really quick.
Ah, yeah, good old Tilray. Yeah, that one used to get pumped around on the old YouTube. Hey, same chart.
Well, okay, I would think about this though.
What do they build?
They do. They're like a REIT, and they build the facilities for growers.
Okay, yeah.
You don't remember this?
I
This was big during lockdown.
oh okay.
I owned it for a little while actually.
Yeah.
So this could be interesting. I mean, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
This was a bit. I mean, I owned it. I think I owned it in like 21. I like traded it. I think I was somewhere in here. I didn't hold it very long. So this was a Kingdom stock too, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah. So they set up, they're like the it was always like, this is the non-degenerate way to play marijuana because you're not technically growing marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have all the repercussions of, selling marijuana. They're just collecting rent from these growers. So, but then some of the problems came about that probably caused this drop is that like tenants stopped paying all of this. These are not solidly built functioning operations growers. So sometimes they don't pay. That's what happened. But this could be an interesting way to play marijuana again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to think about it. I don't know how many shares have they issued because they're a REIT.
Oh yeah,
This peak.
yeah. That's always the annoying
Because their
thing.
operations kind of fell apart a bit.
Yeah.
So there's that. So the other part, this was interesting. This was the one I wanted to look more into.
Mhm.
This is really, I just have to change. Okay. Banking regulation.
That is a big one.
That's the one I'm more interested in.
Yeah.
So state regulated bank, because you couldn't do interstate bank commerce was not allowed because it's federally backed. So you couldn't, bank to bank, different states, no go. So I think you can intrastate was fine because that's state law and the states could be fine with it.
Yeah.
Maybe. So
Depending
if cannabis is moved to Schedule 3, state regulated marijuana will no longer be subject to Section 280 Internal Revenue Code, which has long prohibited such businesses from writing off standard business expenses when calculating their pre-tax profits. Strongman's talked about this before. You can't on your tax returns, they couldn't have expenses because it's illegal federally. So you have to report your illegally gained revenue, but you can't have expenses based on it. Businesses across the industry will be able to reinvest, boost retail employee pay without being taxed on the expenditure. And blah. So that's a major change. Let's see what else. Oh, this kind of, unfortunately, Schedule 3 will not resolve banking industry troubles, but it should improve current conditions, has potential to garner more congressional support on cannabis in general. Banking woes will fall into 3 categories: business bank accounts, cash-only transactions, bank lending. Let's see. Inability to open checking accounts has become less common, as many small community banks, credit unions now work with marijuana companies. Because I really thought about this as an investment when New York legalized, because I'm like, maybe there's a regional bank that was like mostly New York, but maybe they had like 2 locations in Vermont. So I was like, maybe if they close the Vermont branches, now they're a intrastate New York bank. So then maybe they can do banking with marijuana when it came here. So I looked and I found one that did it, but I don't think they did it on purpose for marijuana. So even if I didn't invest in it, it didn't work out. So yeah, there's enough smaller banks. They do get their banking, and I don't know if the big banks would really make a big push to get into marijuana.
Yeah, probably not.
Long down the road idea.
Yeah.
Banking regulations would have to change.
Mhm.
So, but it's interesting. The wheels could start turning on some of these ideas if it does become Schedule 3. So people could start looking at maybe maybe you don't buy a marijuana company to benefit from marijuana going Schedule 3. People could think about other ways that they could benefit. So if you're someone like me, I fail the marijuana companies, man. I remember like 40 bill. I think it was like $40 billion has been lost on Canadian weed companies. I saw some story about it. Like so many people have gotten obliterated investing in Canadian weed stocks. It's kind of a tragedy, actually. I had a friend. He was very committed to Sundial. He thought it was he was day trading it during COVID. I'm like looking at their financials. I'm like, this is such a garbage operation. They just dilute you into oblivion. Like, how is their stocks these? Look. They don't even call themselves Sundial anymore. Now it's just SNDL.
Yeah, rebrand.
I guess they rebranded.
Yeah, just rebrand into your ticker.
Let's see. Outstanding. Yeah, look at this bad boy.
Woo!
Woo! Just fucking rip him, more shares. Oh, look, they were buying shares back for a little while. And then, so it's like, it's $2. It was a penny. It was like a 50-cent stock for a while, I think. Oh,
let's go. We're back. We're back, baby.
Oh my goodness. Do they even have cash? These things are such a nightmare.
Yeah.
Shareholder equity. Yeah, right. Get out of here. Yeah. Someone, if people want to time these announcements, and maybe you could Wall Street bet it, I guess. But let's see. When he said he was buying at 110, 90, or 60. Oh, Jeremy. They need a culture change, easier said than done. Yeah, Boeing.
Yeah, Boeing. Yep.
These things are hard, even when you bring a new CEO in.
Oh, yeah. It takes time.
It's tough. This is going to take such a Herculean task to I don't know. They got to get someone from outside of Boeing. Like I just use an example.
Any chance Wells Fargo gets your business? talking about culture changes.
Like I was just doing this as an example, as like someone that they could think about. Can I get a photo of this guy? Just as an example. So this guy is the president of Gulfstream at General Dynamics. So you get a guy that is experienced in manufacturing airplanes and a military company, very successful military company.
Yep.
Like someone like this would be very impressive. But he's probably, would this guy want to do it? Like, Jesus. But it's hard. How many people have this type of skill set to run a airplane production company, like Airbus, Boeing, right? So like you got people that you got Lockheed Martin makes airplanes. Maybe there's a guy in charge of their cargo planes. I don't know. Does that really translate to commercial? This guy literally makes commercial airplanes, right? Planes that move passengers. So I mean,
they get regulated.
Yeah. It was funny because like they were like, oh, they're gonna one of the front runners early on was the CEO of Carrier, and I was like terrified because I really liked that guy, and because he was the only guy on the board of Boeing that had industrial background experience, which was hilarious that they make airplanes. There was one guy on the board that actually knew how to make anything. Everyone else on the board was like CEOs of random companies and let me look. Boeing.
Oh, the board.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here's the board of directors. Okay. We got a CEO of a drug company.
Yep. Amgen.
Okay, that's the CEO of Boeing.
Yep, so Boeing itself.
We got an accountant.
Kapunga.
KPMG. We got a KPMG degenerate. Yep. Carrier, the one guy. Oh, an energy company dude.
Hey.
An airline pilot. Awesome. United Technologies. I don't really know his background. GE. Okay, who's this guy? Former CEO of GE. Okay, he must be like older.
Yeah.
Probably retired aviation CEO. So don't give him no. Okay. If they bring in an airline CEO, I swear to God. That's the thing I told, like, you should be terrified that they could do. This is the worst case scenario, I think. They bring in somebody from the airlines. There's no idea how to build planes. Like somebody from Delta or Continental or Southwest. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Qualcomm.
Qualcomm!
That guy knows how to build airplanes. A Navy guy. Like literally, they only put him forward, I think, because this is the only guy that actually makes stuff.
Yep.
Freaking, he makes really awesome HVAC systems. Don't leave. So, anyways,
That's just rough.
Do I get a victory lap here?
Oh, sure. Why not? Your channel for sure.
Wait, I pretend everything wins. You know?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Such a jerk. I'm proud of this one. I wish I put more money in it, but I put less money in Tran. Okay,
oh yeah, Tran.
Dude, look at this company.
Yeah,
look at it.
Yep.
I knew it too. I put like half of what I put into Carriers in Tran. So it was like 2020. So I remember it was like 160. Yeah. So like right here. Yeah. Cause I was like, this was like my big buy, like 160, 170 Tran. Look at this company go. But they're in such a perfect space to succeed with the modern economy and, you know, energy savings and electrifying, you know, HVAC systems. Perfect position. So is Carrier. But anyways. All-time highs for Carrier and all-time highs for Tran. There you go. Or you can buy turnaround plays that you have to worry if they even survive, and it's just cheap. People are so obsessed with turnaround plays on YouTube, and I'm like, if you're like 20, why are you buying things like PayPal? It's like, look for amazing companies with awesome tailwinds. Maybe the addressable market's increasing. Maybe they have some competitive advantage you like the management. You think they're like, I don't understand this obsession with, I think it's like everyone wants to call themselves a value investor. So everyone goes online and you build your middle school level DCF and you think that's how you invest. And what do you end up with? You end up with a bunch of turnaround potential value trap garbage. And it's just like, what do you do? I don't understand. Like, that's how you wanted to invest. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just, first of all, it's boring. Like, I don't see what's so exciting about some of these turnaround companies. They're just boring. So if you're going to have indexes mostly, and then you pick a few stocks, like freaking PayPal's boring as shit. Like, I could talk about Carrier for a while. I think it's a very interesting business, but here we are.
And even then, there's plenty of boring companies that are out there that at least have or are showing signs of growth prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of like size, like we're talking PayPal, pretty big company for its space at the time that people were talking about it, or just before. Boeing, same story, pretty darn big. Like 3M, big. Just
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
Industrial property is huge. Town they will pay. They bailed themselves out. Very messy. Yeah, that's what I remember hearing about that when it started to crash. This means SoFi is going to the moon.
Banking the growers.
Oh, fucking SoFi. Dude, I'm getting so much hate. I love it.
Oh yeah. This one. Is this the cream on the top or the cherry
Should
on
we
top?
look, what is it? Maybe wait. Okay, damn it.
Yep.
Let's see what the current. Do I got any new hate? Okay, let's look. I will save this video and see 1 year from this point or unnecessary bearish. Why is it unnecessary? Why can't I just be bearish about SoFi? I get your point. It's not a good company now. But what about in a few years? You tell me if you're going to buy it. You can't deny the fact that they are making good profit now. The hell does that mean?
Oh yeah. The whole
they are profitable, apparently.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's a good business to invest in? Like, you guys don't have a clue. The only real Oh my god, I remember this one.
Oh yeah, EPS, bro.
You guys don't have a clue. The only real metric is earnings per share, and it's growing. Morons. So that's how you value a bank, because it has earnings per share going up. There go, it's awesome. You just buy it. Buy. Morons. Cool. At least you spelled morons. Seem to be fine.
Yep.
This was my favorite. You are stupid and illiterate, imbecile. So I replied, the word is imbecile. Good talk, because he misspelled it. You know, if you're gonna like go after someone, call them a name, double check that you spell the word right before you call someone stupid or an idiot or imbecile. Let's see. I think I lit through all the bad, naughty words.
Oh
So,
yeah, because some of the ones got censored by YouTube, not you.
let's see. Yeah.
Yep.
Fun times. Isn't there another one?
Thought there was
I think someone deleted. Oh, there was one that me and Fabio both commented on. I think he deleted it.
Oh, very sad.
Because I don't see it. Yeah, the guy deleted it. I freaking smacked him.
What was it?
I don't remember
conceptually. Now. Oh damn.
I mean, I don't I block swear words normally, but sometimes I let them through. So Fabio's on the show. In-depth MJ discussion. Returns. Oh, I know he was on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If Biden gets reelected, we're going to need to legalize a lot of drugs. So first reported 2 cents earnings per share with $7 stock price. Good profit, ladies and gents. Yeah, it's stunning. Just stunning. What a great company. Yeah. Dude, I was not ready when Strongman did the Tanner video.
Oh,
right
yeah.
out the gates, he's just screaming at you.
Yeah.
It's like I was not expecting that.
Like, to throw the SoFi Bulls like a bit of a bone here, can we like appreciate and respect how difficult of a thing that they're trying to pull off? Like, banking is so regulated and so difficult that, and at the same time, you're trying to do fintech, which is also pretty darn difficult when you consider all the competition that's out there. Like,
I mean, a lot of the negativity we have and I have is towards their banking.
Yeah.
If they were just a fintech,
mhm.
and when people compare them to a fintech that doesn't have a bank charter, I'm like, well, you're comparing SoFi with a shitload of personal loans on their books,
Yeah.
to this other company who's just a software company, basically.
Mhm.
Like, that's not a smart comparison. Like, you can like SoFi compared to like Ally Bank or something that actually has a loan book, because their software is so anemic. That's the part I can't get through to their heads. And like the software part of SoFi's business is the growth is pathetic for what they're telling you that Galileo is like this amazing, fast growing software. But then you go look at the numbers and you're like, it's barely growing. It's the profitability of it is barely growing. Like the revenue goes up, but the profit, it's like something's amiss. Why is the revenue going up, but then they barely make more profit from that freaking software? And we've talked to people that know about Galileo inside, and they all kind of say it's like nobody likes it. Let me pull this one part up.
Yeah, it's
I have a SoFi degenerate. I can pull up his comments.
Hey, there we go. That works.
I just want to show this one part. Let me get the right page. 114. Okay, hold on. I wrote notes, so I had to pull 114. Oh, the comment that got deleted. So the guy, he was the chartered CFA guy. So did you see that comment?
I did not know.
Did I save it? I bet I saved it. Yeah, he was saying that he's a finance bro, so he's smart. And I'm like, I have an accounting degree, which trumps your finance degree. And then Fabio chimed in and is like, I have both, and an accounting degree is better than a finance degree. Then he told us he's a chartered CFA, or he's a chartered CFA. And I'm a clown, learn how to read balance sheets. It's like,
Oh my god.
I just told you I have an accounting degree. And you have a finance degree. So obviously, I bet you I can read balance sheets better than you.
Learn to read a balance sheet. Stereotypically, like the knock on accountants is that like the balance sheet is their favorite statement. Like
balance sheet's
okay.
the easiest thing to fucking read. Assets,
I know.
liabilities,
Yeah,
cash,
like
debt. What's so hard about a balance sheet? I can read a balance sheet. I don't have it saved. Okay.
good god.
114. Let me find it.
I'm majored in both, and you know, like that comment to me just sounds stupid. But oh well.
Okay. Hey, beyond balance sheets, I can look at 10Ks. Cool.
Yay!
But look at this. Allocate this. I didn't even cover this in my Sofi video.
Yep.
Okay. Reconciliation of directly attributable expenses. Right. So for last year, they their segments that they have in their business, they only reported of $2.4 billion of non-interest expenses. They only attributed 1.2 billion to the reportable segments. So do you think there's some financial engineering going on here to pump up the margin of their fucking business, of their reportable segments? Maybe
that's a big gap.
you say, oh, well, they do this all the time. Okay. It was about 55% of their expenses in 2022, and now it's down to like 45% of their allocated expenses was reported in each segment. So I'm telling you, I don't want to specifically go through line by line my problem because it's almost like a short thesis, which I'm trying to avoid. I just don't want to. But there's some accounting tomfoolery in SoFi's financials. And I'm an auditor. Like I look at financials. I've gone, I have found fraud in financial statements before. Like some of this is just weird. You're telling me you can only attribute half of these expenses to the reporting segments, and then that's going to affect your margins in those reporting segments. You know, and they have other things that they do that are kind of weird.
Oh yeah, because the FT Financial Times, they reported also that the way SoFi values things on their balance statement or balance sheet.
Where's the other part?
You know, quite a
second.
messy thing.
107.
But yeah.
Then this describes, okay, this is how they value loans partially. Let's see, in period origination. So this is, let me get the title, net interest income. Then they have this weird category, in period originations, loan sale execution, fair value adjustments. And then you're like, and then you have to read the note. Fair value adjustments on loan originated during the period, fair value adjustments of loan securitization bond and residual interest held. Let's see, days well. Where is it? Fair value adjustments are impacted by interest rates, weighted average coupon, credit spreads, loss estimates, prepayment spreads, duration, and previous loan execution. It's just like a lot of stuff going on here. That's like, interesting. A lot of decisions management's made about valuation and consideration of fair value of these loans on their books. Are they really accurately representing the value of these loans and the risks of them not paying? Because the default rate is going up. It's going up, and I already showed that. Like, it's not good. It makes sense. If you have a bigger loan book, you know you're going to run out of good people to give loans to. The more people you have to give loans to, you got to go down the chain a bit.
That's not a problem. This is a tech company, a fintech company. So the banking thing, it's not going to blow up in their face at all.
It's such a shit. It's
no
such a
way.
shit growth investment. I just bank kill me. JP Morgan has better returns than SoFi as an investment. The biggest bank in the world is a better investment than this thing. That's pretty sad. That's why I say Jamie Dimon is when people they're going into new spaces with Galileo. It's like because the banks don't care. Like it's not interesting to like Jamie Dimon. Just gonna laugh at these people. I'm assuming the balance sheets. Fake alias. Yeah.
Good old pay.
He just got his CPA too. I saw on LinkedIn.
Congratulations.
I think it was like a few weeks ago. So, anyways, trash. Oh, okay, wait.
Yep.
Let me find it. I'm gonna forget his name of his channel.
Oh.
Okay, it might not pop up now.
Oh,
One
darn.
second. Just gonna skim through the Sofi. I could play those. The clips are hard to play though from Tanner's group.
Oh yeah, those
Hope
ones.
though, watching those guys like shit.
It was brain numbing, like me having to go through those.
The
It was-
cope of those guys, like
Yeah.
Tanner, Tevis, and that other guy, Crossroads. Like
Mhm.
every time earnings come out, SoFi gets obliterated, and then they're just like, Wall Street doesn't get this company. I'm like, I think Wall Street understands what a bank does. Look at this guy. No gains until this happens. Okay, where was the video I wanted to do? Oh, yeah, here we go.
What's going on, folks? I got a Friday special for you all. And listen, this is the last trading day before the SoFi Q1 earnings release on Monday. So is this an opportunity for everybody to buy this
Great
stock
opportunity.
while it's still low and don't miss out on?
It's actually not low. It was trading at a book value almost of JP Morgan before earnings. It was at a price to book of like, I think it was 1.7 or 8 or something. It was expensive. Like they literally think it's cheap just because it's under $10. I swear to God. So
On
we're
a
being
lifetime
traded as a
opportunity,
very richly
potentially,
valued bank.
because the stock could take a huge bump on Monday and never look back, right? Potentially.
Oh, by this way, if this guy ever finds out I do this, I am more than happy to debate you about SoFi. I'll come on your channel if you want. So you can make your case right to my face. But you sound dumb in this video, so
Potentially. I'm going to walk you through my thought process on all that. I'm going to summarize
hear
the
it.
results that we've been talking about for over a month now, but I'm going to give you a little summary of
It's a
that. I'm going
buy.
to give you a little snippet. Listen, you guys already know where I stand with SoFi, but don't log off
Do it for
just
the
yet.
views. That's what
Because
your
I'm
stance
planning
is.
a little
Do
thriller
it
for
for
you
the
guys.
views.
Okay. Yeah, this is what it is. Anyway, we're not going to get
Stop
too into
talking,
that.
dude.
Just had a thought process I wanted to share with you and take that opportunity to also thank you for all the support. Now,
Stop it.
Q4 2023, members were at 5.2 million. They grew that by 2.3 million
so
in a matter of a year. 7.5 million members, right? Products are up. Products by segment is up.
So all he literally is doing, he took the presentation.
Yep.
He just literally took like the first 3 pages of the presentation and then made a spreadsheet or a PowerPoint out of it. Which we've told you, like what they want you to see is what they put in the presentation. Like management spoon feeding you that you should care about members and products because that's what they're trying to sell you is that's growing. That's not the story of SoFi though, but they're spoon feeding it to you so you believe. This guy can't see it.
Technology sector is growing, but not
This is a
growing
bad
as much
start.
as the rest of the company. But we already know Anthony Noto's come out and said that 2024
There's one
they
part
can
that's really
allocate
good I can't wait to
resources
get to.
into growing
no.
in that interest line item. So if you take a look at that, the net interest income went up. What, 3-folds? Is that 3-folds? Yeah, 770.
That's right, guys. Because all you got to do, okay, the other guy said earnings per share go up and then you buy. This guy's just saying revenue go up, we good, we buy. We don't think about anything else. So
3 million to just over $2 billion in a matter of
top
1 year,
notch
right?
analysis
Huge.
of the company.
Total revenue is also up 1.5 billion. But at that level, right, when you're that big, you don't grow as much as something like SoFi. But anyway, that's a lot of growth, right? Net income, well, net loss, because the bank, as of last year, still losing money. Not going to see it. Hopefully, you're never going to see that cash, right? That's pretty significant. The loans portfolio is up as well. Down here,
so the loans are up. Great. That's it. That the loans are up. So we're not going to talk about, what's the loan book look like? Freaking what's the charge-off rate? Has the charge-off rate gone up? Are they people defaulting on the loans more? Like this is the loans went up. It's good. Okay, let's move on.
the biggest
We could be dicks to him because he's literally telling people to buy the stock with this analysis. So he's saying last chance to buy this. Like, so he's telling you to buy the stock.
Improvement that you see is actually looks like a liability. It is a liability for a bank. Deposits are a liability, but sorry, 10 million to 20 million range. Now that's a big range, right? It's like 100% range from the 10 million number. 10 to 20 million is the expected income for Q1.
That's right, because management never lies. So whatever they say, Anthony Noto is a freaking goat, right? He's God. So whatever Noto says, you just believe it because Noto says it. So management
This
guidance.
is before they came out with a
That's why we
convertible
buy
note
companies.
and got rid of the high interest pay. Sophisticated strategy called
go to the part I
for the
wanted.
EPS for 2026. Now look, this is low, right? You end up with a $12.10 stock price. That's 164% increase.
Wow, that's all you do, dude. Well, like, hey, earnings per share go up, we buy. I mean, maybe that dude was right that commented and called me a moron, right? How hard is it? Is earnings per share go up, you buy. Just that's easy. Oh, we're gonna do the I've used this thing before.
Oh no.
It's that stupid toy Wall Street model. It
Nubank,
looks funny.
14,
Like it
MasterCard.
looks
MasterCard obviously is a different type of business. Is March of 2024. This just happened, right?
Where's the
so
part
ARK,
where you-
Kathy Woods
did I
has
miss it?
increased
I think I missed it.
723% interest in SoFi from where they. So if you take a look at that,
Man.
the net interest income
Okay.
went up. What, threefolds? Is that
Hold on a second.
in the dictionary? 2022, it was like a 25
It's got to come right here.
jump. I think that's 25. Maybe it's more. Actually, I can't do math right now. But listen, it's a big jump, right? JP Morgan Chase wishes they had this type of growth, but obviously it's JP Morgan, that's a behemoth, right? If you look at the definition for too big to fail in the dictionary, it's JP Morgan. That's what you'll find. I'm pretty sure. But at that
Go down to
level,
goodwill
right, when you're
impairment.
that big,
Do it.
you don't grow as much
Shut
as
up.
something like SoFi. But anyway, that's a lot of growth, right? Net income. Well,
We
net
skipped
loss
it.
because the bank, as of last year,
I thought we were gonna talk about it.
still losing money. 320 million loss in 2022. It was a 300 million loss in 2023. Going down, but not going down significantly, right? We talked about this. There's a number right here, $250 million loss, basically 250. I'm just rounding at this point. $250 million loss related to the goodwill impairment. That is a non-cash item. It doesn't affect their cash flow. And also, you would think it's a non-recurring one-time transaction, and you're not going to see, hopefully, you're never going to see that goodwill impairment on.
Are you kidding? This is some of the dumbest analysis I've ever heard. And this is what people are buying this. Are you kidding me? Do you think he knows what it actually is?
No way.
There's no way he knows because Tanner never mentioned what it was. He doesn't. I guarantee you, he doesn't know. So this was so he's like, it's a non-cash transaction. It's one time, dude. So it's fine. It's fine. What this represents is the purchase of Galileo. The goodwill from the Galileo purchase got impaired because they're not growing at the rate that they estimated when they bought it. Oh, but it's a one-time transaction, Bacon. It's non-cash. It's fine. It goes away. It doesn't represent anything else than that because it's 1 quarter. Why are you making this so hard?
We have never seen a company.
I've never been so embarrassed. This isn't when I saw this part, I'm like, this is what people base buying SoFi on. And these are the people that call me a moron and imbecile misspelled. Are the people that watch this like this shit. Like, is it important? Yes, it's very important.
Very.
It's part of the reason this company's failing and this narrative of the technology they have failing. It's right there on the freaking financials. But he doesn't. Oh, it's non-recurring, so it's who cares? It's fine. Everything's growing. Numbers go up. Buy. This is how retail investors fail. This really is. This is fucking hilarious. He doesn't even know like what the loan book is. The number went up, so it's good. Again, it's like I can't eat. Jamie Dimon literally says, like in interviews, like running a bank is about risk management. Number one, risk management. Giving people money and they pay you back. Like it's not even about you're not optimizing anything. You're just reputation, right, of a bank and risk management. So the feds don't come in and take you over someday. It's just unbelievable. These people are so like, I don't know. The people that model, like, I guarantee you people are modeling SoFi as a software company. So they're basing like their models on like earnings ratios and earnings per share and PE multiples and stuff. It's like, oh my God. Oh, so Masala Market, you're a clown. I will debate you on this any friggin' day. I can't believe you did this.
Oh my God.
This is terrible. This is terrible. And you were telling people to buy this before earnings, and they got obliterated. If someone bought this stock after this video, what did it go down? 10, 12% after this, right?
Yeah.
Earnings
Yeah. It was
got annihilated. So here we go. Great. Risk management, especially in a consumer bank. Yep. Customers can take their deposits out in a way that business usually don't. Bank can blow up. Yeah. Like, oh, look at all these customer deposits coming in. It's like, well, they could just take them and go somewhere else. And if you're charging 4 or 5% promotional interest on your savings account, like that's an expense that you have to carry. And that's what's worrying people. Like Robinhood came out with that the gold card and stuff. The stock's been down since then. Because I think people are afraid of the unknown of, well, how much is this going to cost Robinhood for all these new customers? So as they come in, you're paying them a pretty hefty expense, for them to come to your business. Maybe it works out for Robinhood. It's an intriguing prospect, at least.
Yeah.
That company's at least interesting to think about compared to SoFi.
Yeah.
Because your customers are an asset, whereas in SoFi, like your customers are kind of a liability because they're debtors. Whereas Robinhood, they're coming with like assets, right? Hopefully, they're paying you a monthly fee.
Yep.
It's a more interesting proposition.
I half expected him to be like, Goodwill went up, therefore SoFi. Great.
I was half listening. This guy keeps popping up in my. I clicked on this and I was just barely listening, and then I heard this part. And I'm like, holy shit! Like, I don't think he knows what it is. I'm guaranteeing he doesn't know what that $250,000 or $250 million impairment. He probably doesn't even know what impairments are. I bet.
Like,
because he just said, "Oh, it's non-recurring."
And
So he just probably knows it's non-cash. He probably like went to Vescopedia and he saw that. I'm assuming.
And we have never seen any company ever like continually impair goodwill going forward. Good God.
Yeah, I know. Like they're not paying upfront. They're paying these transfer fees or transfer rewards over time. I at least understand the intrigue of Robinhood and Palantir.
Yeah.
They're interesting. Like that's what keeps SoFi is not interesting, like at all. She hasn't, yeah.
I just wonder, would SoFi be more interesting if it was like purely fintech rather than having that bank component?
I mean, the Galileo is not impressively growing at all.
Yeah.
Like the revenue was going up from it, but then the actual profits from the technology segment, like for the way they talk about it, you would expect it to be growing at like 15, 20%. The way they talk about how great it is, it's not. It's really not. So, and I find it hard to believe that somebody will pay a premium for that service in the banking segment, but whatever.
Well, I look forward to getting dragged along with you in the angry comments.
Yeah. I'm just like, Jamie Dimon would like never pay for that crap. Are you kidding me? And I'm waiting for them to go, who cares what Jamie Dimon thinks? I'm like, really, bro?
Yeah, come on.
Like, oh my God. Like the GOAT. I mean, I did sell it at 140s. I had it. That was not a good idea. I thought I got a good price on it in 140s. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Amazing. This man is amazing. Like, friggin' best. He's probably like Mount Rushmore of CEOs, I would say.
Especially for banks. Yeah, like there is the reason why he's the chosen one of this era.
I mean, you could be like Gabe and short it. Can't believe Gabe, that freaking idiot, shorted JP Morgan into a troubling time in the economy. Like, are you kidding? This is what Jamie Dimon does.
Yeah.
He's your bad time CEO, not your good time CEO. Like if interest rates went to 0,
Mhm.
I'd buy SoFi like crazy, man. Like, that friggin' they would do great, I'm sure, in a zero interest environment. Just giving out loans to everybody. Oh my God, they'd be living the good life. Like, but when times get tough, do you really want, if we actually go into hard times, like unemployment goes up to like 4 or 5%, which isn't even that hard.
Yeah.
Man, SoFi going to get obliterated.
Yeah.
That default rate's going to go from like 4 to like 8.
Gonna need
And,
to
and they
unload.
survive that. I don't know.
Gonna need to unload that loan book.
Gabe bought Zim because, oh yes, he did.
Yeah.
Gabe bought, wait, how is Zim doing?
Man.
Annihilation. Do you remember when this first came out? Everyone was like so excited because the dividend they were paying was like crazy yield. I think it was like more than even the stock price. But you look it up and you're like, it's a variable rate interest rate for European stocks. It's like, this is not sustainable. They don't even own the ships.
No.
Like, I didn't understand this. Oh well.
Yeah, it already had its run.
I don't invest banks, but if I did, it would be JP and maybe one of those Canadian banks that have a monopoly. Yeah, literally, I bought JP Morgan years. It wasn't that long of a hold. I think it was like 17 or 18. I bought it just because of Jamie Dimon. I wanted financial exposure. I had nothing in my portfolio, and I'm like, I basically just bought Jamie Dimon. So worked out well though. I mean, wish I'd bought Goldman Sachs though. I was eyeballing Goldman Sachs last fall.
Yeah.
Oh well. I think that's it. 2 hours. Holy shit.
Yep. Thanks for having me on. Any sort of hint for future content with the viewers or for the viewers?
I should do a ETF review this. I have 4-day weekend.
Hey.
I should do. Yeah, I'll do I was trying to figure out, I want to do 2 different types of covered call ETFs, because there's the ones that just robotically buy something every month. Then there's the ones where humans actually making option trading decisions. So talk about both of those, I guess. And covered call, so not yield max. So anyways, I think we should end with the GOAT Anthony Noto, right? Dancing.
Sure. Might as well.
Why not? So thanks for watching, people. Appreciate it. If you want to watch people hate me on SoFi, maybe there'll be more comments to come on that. He did delete it. I know that dude, that fake charter CFA idiot. He did delete that comment. But anyways, have a good night.